Hello and welcome to the podcast. If this is your first time listening, my name is Tavishima Ayede. I'm the host of the show, obviously, and I'm a former lawyer turned business consultant. And what I do over here every day is I solve business problems. Now, the problem that we've been trying to solve for the last, I don't know, maybe 5, 8, 10 episodes is we've been trying to figure out how to close high value deals, high value transactions. So when you're done listening to this, since you're a first timer, scroll back, listen to the other ones, get the whole context so that you can follow along with the conversation. Now, yesterday, if I remember correctly, I believe what we discussed was how you need to sell like a doctor, how you need to engage in consultative selling. So for me, when I say consultative selling, it's one and the same thing. I mean, just sell like a doctor. So now by trying to sell like a doctor, it is then we'll get all the information that we need so that we can make a convincing presentation, make a convincing proposal at the end of the day, which is what we call a value justification. A value justification just means this is why you should buy this thing for this particular reason because of this information that I got from you to show how this is how it will help you. This is how it will improve your situation, or this is how it's going to prevent this from happening or prevent that from happening. So, this is why this particular option is the best for you. You're talking directly to a person, directly to their circumstance, directly to their pain point, directly to whatever it is that they're trying to achieve. So, that's the reason why we said like a doctor, because it gives us the strongest chance to be able to argue at the end of the day that look, this thing is a done deal now. This is what will be good for you. This is in contrast to what most Nigerians like to do, which is you show up, the person is in front of you, and you already start giving them reasons why they should buy. When you don't even know whether they like it or not, whether it suits their circumstance or not, whether it suits their pocket or not, you have no idea. You're just going straight into it. So don't go straight into it. Sound like a doctor. So we did the intro yesterday to explain why all this is important. And now today we're going to go into some more detail about how to sell like a doctor or how to sell consultatively. Because if I just say sell like a doctor and then I leave, okay, you guys spiritually, you get what it is I'm saying. But then tactically, when it comes to applying, you will not know what to do next. So today is where we get into what to do next. So that when a customer calls you tomorrow, this is what you will do next. Pay attention. If somebody slides into your DM tomorrow, this is what you will do next. If you go for a meeting with somebody today, later tonight, this is what you will do next. Somebody comes into your studio, into your office, into your laboratory, into your whatever, they come and meet you on the site tomorrow, 9 a.m. This is what you will do next. That's what this episode is about. Well, before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to Adebayo of Bablim Clothing. He's a listener of the podcast. He reached out to me today, connected with me today, said he's been listening for the past 6 months. And he's based out of Ekiti. He also does business in Lagos. And yeah, Mr. Adebayo, I've checked out your stuff. You look correct, as in keep it up. I think you're on the right path. So thanks for listening to the podcast. Thanks for reaching out. Also, shout out to Upong Michael, who asked to join the WhatsApp group recently, and he's based out of Uyo. And then, yeah, I know I didn't pronounce it well. My wife is always correcting me that it's not Uyo, Abizit Oyo. Anyway, let me move. Those of you from that side, Aquarium people, I beg no vex. Then Wisdom Amanam, based in Lagos, if I remember correctly, who's into luxury car rentals. We've been chatting a bit the last week. So if you'd love to connect with me, like these guys did, Adebayo of Bablim Clothing, Upong Michael from Aquarium Uyo, and Wisdom Amanam in Lagos, then call me. Send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080 If you have questions, comments, or queries, reach out. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to bless your boy and you're just asking me for account details, hey, no problem. Reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Then, if you don't have, 30, 40 minutes to listen to full podcast episodes and you just want quick summaries, then get in touch, just like Ukbong Michael did, so that I'll send you a link to the WhatsApp group, and then you can get. Sorry, one moment. Someone is trying to get my attention. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. One of the kids needed my attention because the kids are home because it's a holiday. So, uh, yeah, so just in case you hear any noise in the background or if I have to cut out again, that's the reason why. Um, so, if you don't have time for long episodes, just like Ukbong Michael, send me a WhatsApp message 080-6466-2140. I will send you the link to the WhatsApp group. And on the WhatsApp group, all I do is I share the PDF summaries of the episodes daily. So every single day, there's going to be a PDF there. When you open the PDF, you see a summary of the episode, the gist, the thing that we discussed, the juicy parts, the action points, the things that you can apply next. So that way, in 2 to 3 minutes, you can get your fix of the podcast. You don't have to go and listen to a 20, 30, 40, 50-minute episodes. So you can just be digesting the PDFs when you're free. You come back over here and then you listen to the longer episode. So that's all we do on the group. So don't worry, don't be scared. There's not going to be any politics there. In fact, anybody with a yarn politics, I'll delete you straight. Then there's not going to be any promotion there. Anybody that you're promoting your business, I'll delete you straight. You want to promote your business, talk to me in private. We can figure out something, right? We're mature human beings here. Then please no there's not also going to be any inappropriate comment, inappropriate material. Let me just put it that way, if you catch my drift. So any inappropriate material will just delete you straight. So it's going to be for the podcast summaries only. Now, back to what we're talking about today. The focus is we're going to talk about how to sell like a doctor and then how to justify value. Now, there are different frameworks for selling like a doctor, or there are different frameworks for selling consultatively. So please remember, throughout this podcast episode, if I say sell like a doctor, I mean sell consultatively or sell like a consultant. And if I say sell, you get what I'm saying, Sha? I'm using all these terms interchangeably to mean the same thing. So there is no definitive framework. There is no almighty framework. Pick the one that you like. Pick the one that seems to make the most sense to you. Pick the one that you can remember, because the one that you can remember, you will apply. Now, I keep saying it time and time again. For those of you who've been listening for a long time, you will notice that the frameworks or the principles or the whatever that I talk about usually have 3 to 5 components. Because if it's 3, if it's 4, you can remember. If it's 5, maybe you're pushing it. All those frameworks that involve 10, 15, 13, 18, okay, they might be precise, but will you remember 18 steps to the framework when you're out in the field and you're talking to a client? Will you remember? So that's the reason why I talk about all these ones, 2 steps, 3 steps, 5 step, max. By the time we start entering 7, 8, I doubt most of you are going to remember. So we're going to be talking about one of those frameworks today, and it's gotten from a book, a very old book, older than most of us listening to the podcast, and it's called Spin Selling. Spin is an acronym, SPIN, and it's written by Neil Rackham. Now, I can't remember when exactly, Baba Neil wrote this book. I can't remember if he wrote it in 76 or if he wrote it in 86. For those of you who are listening in the year 3000 something, to put it in context, I'm recording this episode in 2026. So when I say Baba Neil wrote this book, I'm saying that he wrote this thing in like 1976 or maybe like 1986. I can't remember. All right. But that book is old. But of course, you know what I say. The principles are timeless. So it doesn't matter when the thing was written. If you are picking a good business book from 1903, if the principles still apply today, then by all means, stop complaining that the book is old. Take those principles from 1903 and use it to grow your business in 2026. Or if you're listening to this podcast in 2079 and the book was written in 1881, Take those principles and grow your business. Forget this whole modern snobbery thing of, oh, the book is out of date. Like, out of date what? We're talking business, principles of business growth here. Principles are fundamental, principles apply always. People be looking for modern workout methods. Like, what are you looking for modern workout methods for? The fundamentals of working out are still the same. You have pushing motions, you have pulling motions, you have aerobic motions. It is that simple. We just keep reinventing the same thing over and over again. So you can take a fitness book from the year 1800 and you can do some good stuff. Kettlebell workouts that are now becoming popular nowadays. Is it not in Russia that they invented it? You know how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago? So all these modern, like forget this modern whatever. Just look for a system, look for a foundation, look for a framework that works, and then apply it. So Neil Rackham, Baba Neil, he's not a Nigerian, though, he's an American. At least I think he's American. Yeah, I can't remember. So SPIN, SPIN, it's an acronym. S stands for situation questions, P stands for problem questions, I stands for implication questions, and then N stands for need payoff questions. So I repeat, SPIN selling, S situation questions, P problem questions, I implication questions, N need payoff questions. Now you see why I recommend SPIN. Four elements, very easy. Which kind of question should I be asking? Oh, I ask situation. Okay, I don't ask situation. Okay, problem. Okay, okay. I don't ask problem. Which one again? Implication. Okay, I don't ask implication. Okay, need payoff. So every single time you're talking to somebody, the person comes to your office, you're thinking SPIN. The person slides into your Instagram, you're thinking SPIN. You guys go on a site visit, you are thinking SPIN. The person comes to meet you in your house, you are thinking SPIN. What's the situation? Well, what's the problem? And the implication, uncle. Okay, this is the need payoff. That's the structure. That's the groove. That's how we flow with this thing. Now, I'm sure you've noticed that it is a questioning framework because I've been talking about these for these last, 3, 4, however many episodes that it's not about what you say. It is about the questions that you ask. So it is a questioning framework. It is guiding you through the kinds of questions you should be asking, the kinds of issues you should be bringing up, that you should be raising. That is what will help you sound and sell like a consultant, sound and sell like a doctor. Now, when you go to the doctor and you say, Doc, doctor will say, young man, how can I help you? And then you say, doctor, my leg is paining me. The doctor won't just say, oh, I bring your leg, let us cut it. No. The doctor will tell you, okay, so what's the situation now? He might not ask it in that way, but essentially the doctor will be asking you, what's the situation? Say, young man, how old are you? Do you eat sugar plenty? Well, okay, are you married? Okay, you're married. Have you been going outside? When was the last time you went outside? When you went outside, how many people did you meet? You catch my drift. Or who ask you, okay, your father, uncle, did your father have leg pain? You see, all of that is situation question. The doctor can't just say, bring your leg, let us cut it. Or he can't say, bring your leg, let's rub analgesic or go and take Panadol. The guy needs to ask questions. What's the situation? What's going on? And yes, this one is a real life something because I had to go to the doctor recently because my leg was paining me. My leg was paining me die. In fact, the reason why I rushed to the doctor is because my grandfather had diabetes and his legs had to be amputated. So, and my wife has been telling me that, excuse me, my wife has been telling me that I'm eating sugar too much, even though I disagree. So when my legs started paining me, I say, hey, is this how it starts? And I started contemplating my life that, Lord have mercy, at this my young age. So they will cut off my leg too. But I didn't tell my wife. I was very afraid. I had one or two things I was doing at the time. So I said, let me just finish everything on my table. Then I'll pick one free day. Then I'll just run to the clinic and go and cry in front of the doctor. Let's figure out what's going on. Because this leg pain, no be small thing. I was in serious leg pain. So, of course, I went there now. And I told the doctor what was on my mind that, look, doc, it don't happen. I'm a young man, but see me with diabetes, my leg is already paining me. So I saw two doctors. Of course, they had to tell me that, look, young man, calm down. We need to ask one or two things first, and then we'll run one or two tests. Then they started asking me situation questions. Although the question of, the last time I went outside and who I met, I didn't understand, like, why you asking me that kind of question? You see, but that's the importance of uh, having specialist knowledge. Somehow, they know the question that they're supposed to ask. So by the time they ask me all these questions, situation question, my father's history, my grandfather's history, my father's side, whether there's diabetes, mother's side, whether there's hypertension, do I have heart this, do I have, I'm like, these guys are asking me an awful lot of questions. Like the pain is in my leg. That's situation questions. So when somebody comes to come and meet you, you don't just say, I have gold package, I have silver package. Silver package is the best for you. No, you ask them situation questions. What seems to be the problem? How can I help? Oh, when did this start? How come you're trying to deal with this right now? Like what's going on? That's just the how do I put it? And then you catch my drift. Situation question just means, so what's going on? How can I help? That's the kind of attitude. So you're in the fashion space, somebody comes into your shop and the person is holding a piece of cloth and looking at it. You don't just walk up to them and say, madam, this thing fit you die. This thing will look sweet on you. No, no, no. You don't just do that. You walk up to madam and then, what's the situation? Hello, madam. Welcome to my store. How can I help you today? Oh, I notice you have your eye on this. What do you have planned? And then you keep quiet and you hear what madam has to say. You don't come and say, madam, this thing is sweet, you die. No. How can I help you today? What's the situation? What do you have planned? Oh, I notice you're looking at wedding dresses. Is your daughter getting married? Like, what is the situation? What is going on? That's how you sell like a doctor. That's what you start off with. You come and say, madam, this thing fit you die. How do you know, like, she even likes this thing? Anyway, so problem questions is when you start digging deep into, how did it start? So eventually, after the doctor finished asking me all those questions about my father and my mother, my grandfather and my grandmother, my eating habits, and whether I go outside or not, it now started with, how long have you noticed this thing? When did it start? Oh, which part does it pain? Is it under here? Is it to the left? Is it to the right? We started getting to the root of the problem. So essentially, those are what problem questions are. Oh, how did the thing start? So for those of you who are consultants, you're an accounting consultant or whatever, you don't just tell the person we'll fill form M and we'll send it to Inland Revenue Service. No, you ask the situation first now. Oh, like what's going on? What line of business are you in? Blah 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 blah. Then you now start narrowing down. So when did Inland Revenue Service reach out to you? Okay, what kind of letter did they send to you? Oh, okay, what kind of action are they threatening? Blah. You're digging into the problem. You need some more information. Now, the reason why situation questions and problem questions are important, like I said, is because that final recommendation that you make at the end for the recommendation or for the proposal or for the presentation or for the whatever to be effective, you need to gather some information. You need to understand what is going on. That is what will convince the person. Remember, I came into the hospital convinced that I have diabetes because I didn't tell my wife. But the first time I started feeling that pain, I went to one roadside pharmacy. I went to go and see, I'm not recommending you do this kind of thing, please. Always go and see a doctor. I'm just confessing to you that, this is what I did. So I went to one roadside pharmacy. I went to go and check my blood, my blood sugar level. So the girl did the measurement and she said the thing was high. I think she said it's 65/70 or something like that. In my mind, I say, yeah, Jesus, I'm done for. Say it has finally happened. My wife has been warning me, my mother has been warning me, I did not listen. So, to the best of my knowledge now, me running to that hospital to go and cry in front of the doctors, it was a matter of, look, the man diabetes is here, save my leg. I don't want them to cut my leg. Sorry, for anybody who is listening, who happens to be who has mobility issues, if you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything. I'm just being real. I know it sounds funny, but honestly, this was something that was on my mind for a very, 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 very long time. It's a real life something. I'm just being open with you about my fears. So me, I was already convinced I had diabetes. The only way the doctors were able to make a convincing proposal or presentation or whatever that, look, young man, you don't have diabetes, even though you see this is what you're supposed to do next, is because they have been asking situation questions, is because they have been asking problem questions. And if they didn't ask, I wouldn't have been convinced. I would have now said, okay, I've gotten two opinions. Let me go and look for a third. Let me go and look for a fourth. If you are listening right now and you're wondering, I'm a bricklayer, how do I apply situation questions and problem questions to this whole thing? Hey, no problem. When you're done, use AI tools. You just say, I'm a bricklayer based, okay, no, not bricklayer, mason. I'm a master mason. I live in Plateau City, Nigeria. I've listened to a podcast where the host talked about using spin selling framework to guide conversations with potential customers or clients. Give me examples of situation, problem, implication, and need payoff questions that I can use when interacting with my potential customers. Just put it like that, like a prompt. And I can assure you, you will see one or two things there to you that will make sense and that will change the course of your business. Because when people now reach out to you to say, oh, Mr. Mason, I'm building my house in Meduguri, I need you to come down, blah, blah, you realize that no, you're not fumbling anymore. You're handling the conversation in a very, very standard, very, very professional way. Themselves, they'll be afraid. They'll be like, that this one that this guy is talking to us like this, this guy is a professional. It'll be like, say, this guy go cost. Don't be looking at you on a very downward level. And this thing, I'm not making it up. This is real life. There's someone who called in on the radio show, and this was the level of our interaction. And I told the guy what to do. The guy called me back 2 months later, and he gave testimony. Eventually, they tried to price the guy down on price, and he was able to hold his ground. He has done spin selling. He has asked what's up. He knows the situation. He knows the problem. He knows what it is that they are trying to achieve, and he knows the level of resources and material and everything that needs to go into it. And he said, "Look, I can't go lower than that. Even if I want to go low, like what will I do? And I'll go and deliver substandard something to you. I'd rather just stay on my own, sir. If you can find somewhere that can do it cheaper, go ahead. But for me, that I should put my hand here and deliver something substandard, sir, I will just stay as I am." They're the ones that came back later on. So, no matter the industry that you're involved in, so that you're like Mr. Adebayo who reached out to me, you're in fashion, this will work. Okay, Ukpong Michael, I didn't ask what business Ukpong is involved in. But since he's in Uyo, let's assume that, okay, let me not assume. I don't want you acquire bomb people to start, abusing me. You say I'm being racist. Then Wisdom Amanam, okay, he's in luxury and car rentals. It works too. When somebody reaches out to you, if you're in car rentals, luxury car rentals, you don't just say, we have gold package, we have silver package, we have platinum package. You say, thank you very much for reaching out to so and so car rentals. How can I help? Open question, situation. Oh, what are you planning? Oh, who are you planning for? Oh, what were you trying to achieve? And there's going to be a surprise. What elements of surprise are you guys working with? Like, what's the situation? Anyway, let me move. It's almost 30 minutes. So, where was I? Situation question, problem questions. Okay, so implication questions are just when you start asking of how this problem affects this particular issue, affects that other issue. So eventually the doctor, had to ask me a question about mobility. Are you still moving around? Are you still driving? And I had to confess to him that, what, this pain is 24 hours. It never stops. But, it's not so bad that I can't, like, I can walk, I can drive. Like, I've been going around for more than like 2 months. Nobody has suspected nothing. Nobody. By the way, when I said it with my mouth, as I was saying it, I realized how stupid I was. That, come, your leg was paining you for 2 months and you just kept quiet. Please, if there's any medical something you're suspecting in your life right now, you've been living with this thing for 2, 3 months, I beg. I had to say it with my own mouth to realize I was being foolish. If you're in that kind of situation, I beg. This has been going on for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. I beg, go and see the doctor. Go and see the doctor. Because even as we were discussing diabetes and all these things, they were able to make me understand that some of these things, you catch it quick, it's easier to solve. So they explained it to me that no, you're not even at diabetes. But it's good that we've started. We have started early. If you wait until the thing enter diabetes, there's no U-turn. I say, Because me, I was thinking that if you have diabetes, you take some kind of drugs, you can get back to normal. They say no, that you catch some things early and then you stop it. Some things, once the thing don't enter, the thing has entered, it has locked in. You can't do anything again. So please don't be like me. Their leg is paining you for 2 months, you just keep quiet. So the doctor started asking me questions. How is it affecting this? How is it affecting that? Can you do this? Can you do that? Blah, 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 blah. So based on situation questions, problem questions, implication questions, the guy said, okay, we'll do it like this. We'll do blood test. We'll do kidney function. We'll do X-ray. We'll do, you know, even an X-ray. I was wondering, like, doc, which one is X-ray again now? Because in my mind, I was still thinking blood sugar is high, so therefore it's diabetes. So yourself in your business, you have to start asking implication questions, and that is one thing that Nigerian business people do not do. They don't ask. So you're a consultant. Somebody comes to meet you. They want to solve the inland tax revenue issue because inland revenue has sent letter to them. You don't ask them a simple question that, okay, look, if we don't solve this thing now, or if we don't get on this thing now, like what's the worst that can happen? There's some people who say, if we can't solve this thing now, I'll just abandon this company now. After all, I'm planning to jackpot next year. Now, with somebody who gives you that kind of answer, you're in the tax and accounting space. The person says, worst case scenario, if we don't fix this thing, like I'm gone. Like I'll just leave it and I'll jackpot. Like, I don't care. That kind of thing. Can you see that you're already getting a sense of whether this person is serious or not, whether they have a serious problem or not? Somebody who has the option to walk away from this mess and not pay any tax, does the person have a problem? Does that sound like the kind of person you should continue to be following up with to say, Oga, how far? Oga, how far? Oga, how far? Implication questions. How is this thing affecting this issue? How is this affecting that issue? If we can't solve this thing right now, or if we don't start on this thing right now, like what's the worst that can happen? Excuse me. So, for those of you who listened to the earlier podcast episode where I spoke about, where I was talking to this lady who is in solar sales, and there was this lady that she couldn't close. By the time I called the lady, it's implication questions that I realized that look, there's no room here. Because we're just talking generally, like, oh, you're in the band A, like, how are you people coping? Eventually, she admitted that chairman went to go and talk with NEPA, so they're not really paying band A prices. They just settle NEPA something every month. The person who was selling the solar panels thought that this was a good deal. I can assure you, from asking implication questions, you're in the solar business. The person that wants to buy the solar, by the time I push on some implication, it's like, there's no implication now because if she doesn't buy solar, it's not as if she's paying band A price. And after all, the light there is sweet. The only problem is just that when NEPA takes light, her daughter used to cry. Her daughter doesn't like the dark. Okay, but how long does that last? No, light is usually back in about 2 hours. That kind of person doesn't have problem. Even if the woman has the money to pay for the solar, she doesn't have problem. The light is 22 hours every day. Yes, they will take light for 2 hours. Her daughter will cry. But she's like, she's a Nigerian woman, so she no 2 cent. If it was America, that one is different. They say, oh, my baby, my baby. They'll go and buy solar. But this is Nigeria. You even shout at your daughter as I was saying, come on, like, what are you crying for? Can you hear any other child crying at this time? Come on, you keep quiet, go and sleep. So it's from asking the implication questions like that I realized that look, this woman doesn't have problem. And then I asked her that, okay, see, madam, with all the things we've said now, it's like there's no need now. It's like you're not really interested in this solar. She said, it's true. It's like that. I said, okay, so if that's the case, then I'll tell my colleagues now. There's no need for them to be chasing you like that now. We'll just be sending you email once in a while in case of promo, in case of anything, in case you change your mind. I'll be, how do you see it? And she said, it's okay. And that's it. We left. No need to be following up on that woman again. Because from asking implication question, how is this one affecting this? How is this one affecting that? If we don't move now, is there any problem? If we move now, is there any advantage? If there's no implication, then why am I wasting my time? Implication no day. Then, finally, need payoff is if we act now, what's the benefit? If we move now, what are we going to enjoy? Essentially, that's what need payoff is. You have to explore that as well. Because if you do not explore that with the customer, with the potential client, with the prospect that you're talking to, you don't know whether this thing is hungering them or not. You don't know if this is a sweet thing or not. In fact, please, I hope, especially my Nigerian listeners, because we are bad at this, I hope you guys can see now that implication question and need payoff questions are the most important questions we should be asking, but we never ask. Somebody says they want a dining table. Okay, you don't ask the situation, what the dining table is for. Why did they start asking about the dining table now? You don't even ask the implication. Like, okay, if we don't get this dining table now, like what's the worst that can happen, or do you have any alternative things like that? Some people, the reason why they want a dining table is because, we don't have one. Anybody's just eating somehow. But my in-laws are coming, and I just want us to have a proper table when the in-laws are coming. When are the in-laws coming? Excuse me. When are the in-laws coming? Blah 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 blah. Oh, madam, it can cost between this and this. 800,000 for just dining table. Madam, now so we see am now. You see now Tinubu economy. But madam, I didn't say it will be 800,000. No. I say it can reach like around that kind 500, 800. We'll have to sit down, look on at different patterns. Then from there, I'll tell you exactly how much your own is going to cost. So madam, how far? Abi, I should bring sample. But then eventually you have to ask, okay, madam, this dining table self, if you don't do this dining table before your in-laws come, then what's the problem? She goes, if I don't do the dining table before they come, it's not a problem now. They'll eat wherever they will eat now. Once a woman has answered like that, you self, think about it. You, Mr. Carpenter, or you, Mr. Woodworker, or you, Miss Madam Interior Design person. Once the client has answered you like that, there's no implication. Then, honestly, is there a need here? When the person has admitted that, look, worst case scenario, if money no day, my in-laws will just, as they see us, they will take us. Can you see? You're now getting a sense whether there's a deal here or not. It's not just a matter of madam looks good, she sounds nice, her perfume smells nice, her cream is, good. So therefore, this is a done deal. No, she might have all the money in the world, but for her, if it's not that serious a problem, it's not that serious a problem. It doesn't matter how much you pursue her. If it's not a good deal, it's not a good deal. So implication questions, need payoff questions. That is where we need to key in. Nigerian business owners, please. Implication and need payoff questions. You want to figure out how this works? I already told you AI. Just use AI. AI is very good for ideation, coming up with ideas. I promise you. If AI tool gives you 10 example questions for implication questions, 10 example questions for need payoff questions, I can assure you, even if 8 are rubbish, the two questions that you find on either side, I am promising you, the thing will make your life a whole lot easier. Sorting through clients, potential clients now will be a lot easier. Even the confidence with which you handle conversations now will be a whole lot easier. Try it. I want to hear from somebody who says, I tried this thing, it did not work. What you're telling us to do is absolute crap. Please try it and then call me 080-6466-2140. I want to hear from the person who says, I tried it, this thing is rubbish. What you're saying is false. I want to hear from you. Now, when you ask all these questions, what's up? What's going on? What's the situation? What's the 411? Yeah, what's the problem? Oh, okay. What are we trying to achieve? Yeah, okay. But it could be like this, like this, like this. So if we don't do anything about it, what's the worst that will happen? Okay. But if we act now, this is the kind of thing you want to achieve, Abby. Ah, okay. By the time you ask for that kind of question, can you see you have all the ammunition now to now tell the person that, look, madam, based on what you said about this, your in-laws coming and everything, this is the best option for you. Your in-laws are like this, like this, like this. Your house is like this, like this, like this. As I see you, ma, you are this kind of person. You're this kind of person. So ordinary Iroko is not going to be good. We need Canadian maple syrup wood, something, something, something. We need to import that one directly from Lagos. But you see, you'll be able to make the presentation that meets the woman, that matches the woman exactly where she is, that will solve her own problem. That is how you make an effective presentation. Not that because you're an interior decor, somebody comes to you, you just look at them, you look at their skin, you look at the car, you hear the way they talk, Then you now say, this one will now give her a premium package. Who told you they can afford premium package? Who told you that they need premium package? There are some people who can afford premium package, but they just can't be bothered. Like some people who tell me that, okay, you're a big boy. I say, yeah, I'm a big boy in Jesus' name, but I'm not buying that thing. Give me the other one. Some people who say, bros, come on now. Somebody at your level. I'll say, yeah, in Jesus' name, yeah, somebody at my level, but don't give me this one. Give me that one. Some people just can't be bothered. So, how do you justify value? Now that you have done spin selling, you've asked the people, what's up? Where did the problem come from? Worst case scenario, if we don't do anything now, what will happen? Okay, but if we do this is the benefit that we stand to achieve. You've asked all those kinds of questions. How do you now justify value? This is what you do. You have to. Um, this is where some of you get uncomfortable, but um, look, there's no avoiding it. All right, I know some of you will be very uncomfortable about this, but there's no avoiding it. Eventually, we have to start talking about negative outcomes. If we don't talk about negative outcomes, we are being unprofessional. So the doctor will tell you that if we do not take this test, and the problem is not diabetes, the problem is your kidney. This is what might happen in the future. If you don't open your mouth, and if the doctor does not open the mouth and tell the person that, the doctor is being unprofessional. So after running all those tests for me, it is the doctor's professional duty to say, based on all these results and everything that we have here, this is my recommended course of action. And if we do not pursue this and this and this and this and this, these are the likely outcomes. So that I can make an informed decision to say, okay, doctor, we'll do it like this or we'll do it like this. It is the same thing for you. Whether you're an interior decor or you're a business consultant or you sell cryptocurrencies or what else, or you're a master mason or you're an architect or you're a whatever, we have to get to the point where we start talking about outcomes and we start trying to quantify stuff. Say, okay, no problem, ma. You say you won't do anything about this leakage in the POP, but madam, just so you know, if we leave this thing like this, the water damage will continue over time. And trying to fix it later on, when the damage has reached to the level of this stage or as this stage, it might cost this and this and this. Madam, this is actually the cheapest time for us to take action now on this thing. So as you are seeing this leaking thing in the POP, I understand, ma, it's not causing any problem. After all, it's in the guest toilet. Nobody is seeing it. No problem. But you have to tell them. You have to. It is the professional thing to do. The same thing if you're the tax accountant or the whatever. Oh yeah, sure, you can walk away from all this, but if you walk away from all this because of changes to legislation and all not and blah blah blah, if you come back to Nigeria later on and you want to run for presidency or governor, you'll be required to get this and this and this and this and this. This problem is not going to go away. If you have political ambitions in the future, you have to talk about these things. What is the opportunity cost of inaction? Okay, we're not going to take any action on this thing. These are the consequences. You have to say it. If you can quantify it, quantify it. When I say quantify, I just mean put it in naira and kobo. This is how much it will cost you in the future. This is how much you will lose in the future. Or this is how much you will, you get me. But that's how we talk about, that's how we justify value. If people want to sleep, they don't want to do anything on it, no problem. You let them know. It is your professional duty to say. Then once you say, you leave. The rest is up to them. At least tomorrow, they will not come and tell you that, oh, Bayo did not tell me this, or BC did not tell me this, or Abdul did not tell me this, or Zainab did not tell me this. Even if you don't want to say like that, you say, madam, but I told you on this date. In fact, look at our WhatsApp message. You can see it there now. Madam, I told you that this is what will happen. So, we have to talk about the pain, talk about the discomfort, talk about the opportunity cost. We have to. We have to. I know some of you feel uncomfortable. Nah, no problem. For those of you who feel uncomfortable broaching these kind of things, what you do is don't dwell. Just say your own, then excuse yourself. So if you're the master mason, you say, "Oh, madam, you see this thing here? The thing I started here. Once it reaches the center of the POP here, in order to solve this problem, would actually, you will actually have to leave the house. We need to erect scaffolding. We need to bring it down, blah, blah, blah." You just say it one time. Then you excuse yourself. The rest is up to madam. If you feel icky, if you feel uncomfortable, as if you're pointing out the problem, as if you're trying to choke and choke and choke and prod and prod and prod and convince. Okay, no problem. Just say it one time, but at least you said it. Say it and then leave. You've done your own. Then go and look for somebody else to talk to. Then to justify value, based on all these conversations we've been having, we also talk about the benefits. It's not just pain, the benefits as well. So, madam, if we act now, this is the benefit we will enjoy. So, madam, I understand that right now, pulling out 250K honestly is quite a stretch. I understand this Tinubu economy. But the thing is, madam, if we act now, all right, at least it's only 250 that we spend. But, madam, if we wait until this leakage reach the POP, the center of this POP, and then because we can't be walking cement and everything in the house, and then there are people in the house. Madam, you have to book hotel for like 2 nights. Then we also have to build scaffolding inside your house. There'll be scaffolding money. Then we'll have to remove this block, replace this block, put this block, put this block. So, madam, honestly speaking, doing right now at 250K, madam, this is the best. Because by the time the problem reach like this, the way the economy is, let me just, you bring out your calculator, you do quack, 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 quack. Madam, if we wait for this thing to reach here, we might end up spending like 1.3. If we act now, this is the benefit. So, these are the kind of moves, these are the kind of games that doctors play with us to get us to act in our own best interest. Oh, by the way, I don't have diabetes. I'm in the clear. Because of X-ray and all the other things, it turns out it's a musculoskeletal something fasciitis. When I hear fasciitis, I wanted to die because my wife watches all these women who kill, all these documentaries now, serial killers, something. And I know that for one of them, somebody was suffering from something fasciitis, was like a flesh-eating bacteria or something. So when they say fasciitis, in my mind, I'm thinking, bacteria is eating my leg from the inside. Yeah, my poor leg. Anyway, there are different kinds of fasciitis or whatever. So mine is just a muscular something. So the doctor just gave me pain relief. Then he gave me one cream, anti-inflammation, that you just rub on your leg, take the cream. And to God be the glory, as I'm talking to you now, I'm intact. My 2 legs are fine. No need for amputation. I won't admit it to my wife, but no need for sugar as well. Cut down on the sugar. So, where was I? Forgive me. I just went off on a tangent. Anyway, so this is how doctors get us to do what it is that is in our best interest. They ask us situation questions, they ask us problem questions. We explore the implications, and then we also look at the need payoff. And that is how a doctor justifies value with these recommendations. Now, look, young man, for your own particular situation, you do it like this, you do it like this. This is the approach that you take with your business. This is how you sell in a consultative manner. This is how you sell like a doctor. And this is what makes you stand apart as a pro. So back to that last example I used of the master mason or the master bricklayer. From the way you're talking, madam will see that, okay, this mason, this bricklayer, this whatever, this guy knows his stuff. In fact, they'll even be calling you mason again. They will now start calling you engineer, so and so. That's how you know you're making progress. You're standing apart from the rest. Anyway, 45 minutes. So let me just end this whole matter here. Remember, you want to know how it applies to your particular business because I can't come up with every single, I can't come up with exhaustive examples. Just go and use AI tools, then run it, and then see what you come up with. If you're not convinced or the thing not to work in your situation, no problem. call me, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message 080-6466-2140. Especially those of you who think what I'm saying is totally BS. Reach out to me. I want to hear from you guys. All right, so that's it. I'll catch you all some other time.